Hello and welcome to my channel after 4 years. My name is Anova and I'm a photographer and an artist based in Canada, and I was inspired to make a video today called What's in my camera roll haul because I did do some photography today. It's been snowing and also sunny, which is an incredible combination for someone who is a photographer because all of a sudden the ground has become a light source. This has been very fascinating for me and I was inspired to shoot. I also have been inspired by a few different Vancouver photographers that I would love to talk about right now and show you also how they inspired my pieces. Also, just to let you know, it's the sunset right now and it's beautiful, and that's why I'm going to be looking at this corner. But let's begin. I can start with perhaps a little photography history. I have been pretty fascinated with the Vancouver School, which I will read their Wikipedia bio for you. The Vancouver School of Conceptual or Post-Conceptual Photography, often referred to as photoconceptualism, is a loose term applied to a grouping of artists from Vancouver starting in the 1980s. The artists that are associated with this term include Vicki Alexander, Roy Arden, Ken Lum, Jeff Wall, Ian Wallace, Stan Douglas, and Rodney Graham. It was in the 1980s where William Wood refers to as a rebranding of Vancouver and a desire for larger recognition within Canada and internationally. The Vancouver School designation functioned to present Vancouver art to the larger international market. And this was very fascinating because as someone who is from Vancouver, we often see our city depicted as another city in film and television, but rarely as its true identity itself, Vancouver. That's why this Vancouver School is really fascinating to me. And then out of these 6 photographers, I want to talk about Jeff Wall, who is known for his large-scale backlit photographs and his art history writing. The photo that I was most inspired by was actually this one, which is called The Pine on the Corner. It's a photograph of a Vancouver neighborhood with the snow-capped mountains in the back, a pine on the corner, and the houses and the cars of the 1980s in the foreground. I really like this photo. It just reminds me of my city, and I think it's fascinating to have a photo that is just depicting something so mundane, but something so almost classically Vancouver to me. I thought it was really interesting, and sometimes you don't have to have a reason why you like a piece of art or a photo, and I think this is one of those instances. But it was really inspiring, and I thought it'd be fun to also photograph my neighborhood in the same kind of style of just like documentary, this is what it is, see it, and you have to believe it. The second photographer who I was pretty inspired by is Anna Atkins, who is an English female photographer who is often considered the first person to publish a book illustrated with photographic images. Her work is more documentary and almost connected to biology and kind of like photographs of British nature. So she does cyanotypes and photograms, and let me show her work right now. It's beautiful stuff, and it's also very inspiring as someone who loves nature and the structures of organisms in the wild. It's really cool. The third person I was talking about or thinking about was Edward Burtynsky, who's also a Canadian photographer, born in Ontario. He's really famous for his aerial photography, which I will show now. And this is from A Terrible Beauty or Manufactured Landscapes, which are photo series about the effects of humans on climate. This is about kind of like mining trails, mines, quarries. It's beautiful, and quite important work. It really opened my eyes when I first saw it for the first time in the Vancouver Art Gallery on just the sheer scale of human sort of activity and how it has harmed the environment, and how photography is a way of documentary and also almost activism in terms of combating these changes. And that's my heater. So really inspiring. Those are the 3 photographers that I wanted to just highlight in terms of how they've inspired the work I created today. Now let's go into my images. I'm gonna start with this photo. Okay, here is my image that was inspired by Jeff Wall. It's of a neighborhood of snow, of coniferous trees, of a deciduous tree that has lost its leaves, and the building and the car in front covered in snow. There's also the mountains in the back and the telephone wire kind of framing everything. I really like this image, and it was definitely inspired by Pine on the Corner and kind of that style of like capturing the mundane in a way that is respectful or almost extraordinary, in my opinion. But this is my cool suburb photo. I think it's really cool. I like it. That's my first image in the haul. And then this is my second photo. It's of roots, snow, moss, icicles. I took it in the forest, and Anna Atkins definitely inspired it. I want to be also like very documentary about the beauty of nature and like the structures that are apparent in nature that are like recursive and beautiful, like fractals, like rhizomes, which my friend taught me about. I think it's a cool image. I filtered it black and white, and I added some clarity, some sharpness, and I lowered the contrast a little bit to see more of the details. And then here's my final image. Oh! Here's my final image. This was kind of Bertinsky inspired, but also mostly I was just inspired by the colors and the rust and just the deep contrast of this neon orange and yellow against the white and the gray behind. And that is my final image that I took and edited today on my walk. So we have this one, and this one. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. The sun has set, and I need to prepare for an exam. And I also would love to hear anything about what has been inspiring you lately, how art is a way for you to interpret or document the world, or express something that needs to be expressed. My name is Anova again, and my contact information will be in the bio, as well as links to the photographers I mentioned, and also links to my work elsewhere on the internet. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked this style of video. I know it's probably not often done, what's in my camera roll haul, but it's something that I've really enjoyed, and I'm always happy to talk about art and photography, technology, and using art as a force for change. So let me know if you want to hear more. Thanks for watching.